Silence is the earliest fruit to ripen when you have learned control of the senses and of the three lower states, the physical, emotional, and mental. It is the well of wisdom containing all treasures, the locus of all knowledge. Nature abhors a vacuum. Hence, when illusion disappears, reality takes its place. Our five senses explore the realm of appearances. They are windows open on the destructible world. And to be able to enter the interior palace, we must be capable of closing them at will. This palace of silence, or temple of contemplation, has been enthusiastically described in all initiatory literature, for it allows us, once the lower worlds have been controlled, to penetrate one after the other, the higher states or worlds. All mystical teachings agree that the empty shall be filled, as Lao Tse says, that he who has little shall receive much. Vomit your thinking, Lao Tse says again, and blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven, says the Nazarene Master, is for little children and those who resemble them. It is in silence, devoid of appearances, that reality is manifested. That is the one temple of which all others are only likenesses. And in it, the essence of all religions is identical in this proposition. The causal spirit, becoming conscious of itself, creates the forms or appearances through which it returns to its origin as the universal consciousness. The first form of silence is immobility. Immobility of thought and no will to action. Immobility of body and no will to emotion. This second prevents the danger of psychic illusions during meditation. Psychic images or visions are a danger, the more so since the beginner takes them for a privilege and a sign of progress. They are, on the contrary, the mirages of an unhealthy country that one should hastily avoid. All hallucinations and ecstatic dreaming should be put aside, and one should be continuously conscious of the desire not to be deceived by cerebral or psychic tricks of imagination. Perfect silence should be the aim. Entering into the silence should be like entering a deep cave. The sounds and voices from outside become more distant. So too should all memories and intellectual notions. The ear should become closed to well-known voices, and forget even the forms of language which have been the mold of thought. By caring for an ill-founded aestheticism, the decadent languages of modern times have lost the sense of initiation and the magic of the word. And one must become detached from their present factitious forms before one can rediscover the true feeling for the word. Conventional thoughts only prevent one from understanding the word, that has no form, and the voice, which has no sound, which speaks only in silence. Understanding is the perception of the consciousness of the soul, the exercise of the intuition, the opening of the inward ear, and it alone can reveal the vital meaning of anything. It requires silence, as the embryo requires the womb. Its seat is the central region near the heart. This is the true solar heart of our body. There we listen and feel the growth of that which is learnt in silence. One must listen to the silence, even if nothing speaks and nothing answers, even if everything in one seems stupid and inert. Silence is always fruitful, but its fruit often appears outside one's periods of silence, at the most unexpected moments. Silence is the well into which falls the universe, the void into which the spirit is drawn. but the consciousness which is aroused at such moments may remain obscure for a while longer, and the wisdom which they bring forth in the depths of the heart may take time to rise to the surface. And while we wait, futile preoccupations may stifle it. One must learn, therefore, to incubate this treasure. It would be extravagant to expect that one should immediately comprehend to the full a thought conceived in the short time set aside from daily cares. The first result will be a vague awareness that some new understanding or other is not far off. Be grateful for it, for ingratitude and skepticism are a bar to progress. Wait patiently while the confused lights settle into plain evidence. And do not try to hasten the process or make it more exact by intellectual deduction, for that only prevents the development of intuition. Any knowledge which the heart obtains will rise to the surface like the cream on milk, without the least effort of thought, and that is true intuitive knowledge. Only after that can the intellect of the brain take it over and tie it up with what it already knows. This is a translation of the originally intuitive conception, and it requires one to practice listening with the inward ear, in an impersonal, neutral, docile state of mind, for the corrections suggested by the wisdom of the heart. The obstacles to the growth of intuitive knowledge are eagerness for results, use of imagination whether intellectually or emotionally, intrusion of irrelevant thoughts during meditation, ingratitude and skepticism when intuitive perceptions cannot yet be understood intellectually, self-complacency and unwillingness to confess mistakes. It is important to realize the principle that everything is in man, and there is nothing in nature which is not represented in man, but over and above nature, a seed of divine light has been given to him as man, to bring to fruition. Genius is only a momentary rending of the veil that hides this light. The veil is woven of our habits and prejudices, our personal likes and dislikes, our ambition and personal will, and our vain pride in rational knowledge. The voice of the light is the consciousness of the universe. When a man has broken the shell of his ego, there is no problem that it will not solve for him. The ability to hear this voice is in proportion to the simplicity and transparency of the listener.